Welcome back, CruiseHols, or hello if you're new to this channel. In this video I take a look at what I believe are the top 10 Valencia shore excursions. Valencia is one of the biggest cities in Spain and offers plenty for visitors to do in the centre of town. But with the port being far away from those attractions, and with so much on offer in the wider Valencian region, many cruisers opt to take a shore excursion. Thankfully there are plenty of great options available to do just that, but what can actually sometimes confuse things, as there are so many options, just which are worth doing. As is always the case with these sorts of things, it really does depend on what you prefer to do and how you prefer to do it. But the chances are that if you are visiting a city such as Valencia, it will be the main attractions of the city that you are interested in. There are plenty of options in how to explore those, but there is a lot more to your visit to the city, including taking in some of the local history and Catalan culture. So if that sounds of interest for you, don't forget to like and subscribe, and why not leave a comment below and tell me about what you have done in Valencia or what you would like to do in Valencia. So my name is Darren, and this is my top 10 Valencia shore excursions. The area in and around Valencia is perfect for growing the grapes needed to produce some of the world's best wine, and with the industry dating back to Roman days, it is no surprise that the locals have gotten so good at producing red wine and rosé tipples. There are a few options of where you can visit, with many being in the nearby wine country, known as Utel Requena, but no matter where you go, you will likely get a tour of the vineyards before getting the chance to try some of the local produce. If you are visiting the city with kids, have already been around the main sites, or if you're expecting bad weather upon your arrival there, why not book a shuttle to the impressive Oceanographic Aquarium. There is lots to see around the aquarium itself, including many impressive modern buildings, a huge park and a small shopping centre. But the highlight of this part of Valencia is the Oceanographic Aquarium itself. It houses around 45,000 examples of over 500 different marine species, including sharks, beluga whales, walruses, sea lions, penguins, manta rays, dolphins and much more. If you are visiting Spain to see its history, a short trip along the coast to the small town of Sagunto is likely to be your best option when visiting Valencia. Whilst it is a fascinating traditional Catalan town that is great for exploring in its own right, it is best known for the remains of the ancient Iberian and Roman city of Sagunto. Once a thriving Roman town in times gone by, it is perhaps most famous for coming under attack from Hannibal's army, which with the siege of Sagunto triggered the Second Punic War, one of the most famous and important wars of antiquity. There is still plenty of the town preserved to this very day, including the Sagunto Castle, a Roman theatre, historic church, and the narrow cobbled street of the old Jewish quarter that can all be seen and explored on the visit there from the port of Valencia. The historic Requena takes you back in time as you walk through its narrow cobbled streets and idyllic squares dating back to about the 1300s, but the real beauty of the town can be found underground. The Requena Caves offer the chance to explore a maze of tunnels that were once used by the town to store grain and wine from the 13th century onwards, but now they offer visitors an incredible experience along well-lit paths. If you are a wildlife lover and want a relaxing day on shore whilst in Valencia, a short trip to the Albufera Natural Park is a must-do as you head to a large oasis just 10 kilometers from the centre of Valencia. Albufera welcomes a wide range of animal species, including many migrating birds, and whilst it is always a great experience to grab your binoculars and see what you can see from the many nature trails that are on offer, the highlight of a visit to the natural park is the chance to jump on a boat and visit El Palma village, which sits on a small island. When there, you can take a walk past the traditional wooden houses found there, complete with straw roofs, and also often get a chance to enjoy a traditional meal before heading back to the city or to the port. If you are interested in the history of the region, or if you have watched a popular TV programme called The Borgias, you will likely know all about the House of Borgia, and all that they got up to. Whilst a lot of what has been said about them is based on rumour and lies and innuendo spread by rival households, there is still plenty of the stories around the Borgias that were true. To help gain a greater understanding of the former noble family of Spain, take a visit to the town of Xàtiva, which once belonged to the family and is the birthplace of 2 popes. After around an hour's drive from the port, you can take a road train up to the historic Xàtiva castle, where there is a museum dedicated to the Borgias. Exploring a cave is always an incredible experience, especially if it is your first time visiting one, but they can be a bit tricky for those with mobility issues, or for those who are not great in confined spaces. If that is you, or if you just want a memorable way to explore one of the caves around the Valencia region, a shore excursion to visit the beautiful San Jose cave is an option to check out. After a short drive to the village of La Valduxo, you will board a small boat to take a journey through the flooded cave system and past spectacular stalactite and stalagmite formations, with names such as El Diablo, the Bat Room, and La Medusa. The centre of Valencia is split into the old part and the new part, and whilst there are some interesting things to look at in the newer part, it is arguably the old quarter of Valencia that offers the most interest to visitors. It is relatively easy to explore on your own, but if you want a more informative experience where you can gain an in-depth understanding of what you are looking at, a guided walking tour of the district is a great option. Along the way you can visit the central market, the old silk exchange, and walk through the historic narrow streets of old Valencia town. The trip from the cruise port to the city centre is quite a long one, and even with the shuttle to the port gate, it is still quite some walk to the city centre and especially to the historic old town. If you don't fancy the walk, which can be testing even for the fittest cruisers, especially with the heat of the summer sun, the easiest option is to head out on a city tour. These will take you around the newer parts of the city, and many will also take you to within walking distance of the old town, and allow you some time to explore before taking you around some of the other highlights of Valencia, before sadly heading back to your ship. This one just had to be my number 1 pick, as it is just what me and my wife did when in Valencia. Avoid a long walk from the port gate or faffing around trying to sort taxis by booking a shuttle from the ship to the town centre. Well, I say town centre, but ours dropped you off near to the Oceanographic Aquarium, which is still quite a walk from the historic centre of the old quarter, but it is a pleasant walk and you can take in the huge park that wraps around the city along a dried riverbed. By doing it on your own, you can see what you want to see, visit the attractions you want to visit, and not be too worried about the time, as long as you make it back to the pickup point on time, of course. We got to take in all the highlights of the city, including a visit to the Mestalla, the home of Valencia FC, the North Railway Station, the Central Market, and also all of the new museums and art centres near to where we were dropped off, in what proved to be a great day ashore. So there you have my top 10 Valencia shore excursions. I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you next time.